Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. This week will be an episode of Flash Reviews, a show where I make in-depth reviews of scenes in new films. On this episode, I will be reviewing the opening scenes of the new film, The King of the West, by Squeeze By Productions. This film, produced in Florida by amateur producers Elliot Jordan and Ellie Shannon, delves into the gritty social issues of past and present America right from the get-go. Featuring a young woman who gets kidnapped by a cult in the year 1959, The King of the West includes classic horror tropes while working in social concerns that still impact society today. The King of the West definitely lives up to its R rating and should not be shown to children due to its use of violence, graphic nature, and language content. American history fans are definitely a group that this film would interest because of its classic 1960s style and the use of historical events such as the Civil Rights Movement and feminist movement. I think the biggest audience that the film appeals to would be horror and thriller fans because of its focus on a savage cult that brutally terrorizes a small town in Oregon. Another group that this film may interest is women because of its strong female characters and its challenge of stereotypes of women. The most prominent social issue that the film addresses is rooted in the feminist movements which have existed in the United States for decades. The main character of these opening scenes is a woman, which introduces the trope that the film plays on, which is the stereotypical vulnerability of a woman. It enforces the horror of the scene as well as presenting that theme that women are endangered by cultural norms, which appears later throughout the film's duration. The stereotypical helpless woman trope is challenged toward the end of the film's opening when the woman takes her life into her own hands, submitting to the cult instead of fighting against it and possibly facing more danger. This sort of juxtaposition of a woman who is strong enough to control her own life and fate, disguising herself as one who can seemingly be ruled over and forced into oppression, is a genius way to challenge stereotypes of women and their behavior. The extremity of the cult, which dominates Gold Hill, Oregon, in the film draws connections to other ideas and practices that were considered radical in America in the 1950s and 60s. The film is a commentary on the ways in which the civil rights movement of the 1960s were portrayed by the general public of America at the time, more specifically the average white male citizen. It compares the struggles of the feminist movement and its portrayal to an actual radical group and how both of these entities are seen by society and represented in the media. Based on my analysis and review of the opening scenes of this film, I would really recommend the film. It does a great job at addressing actual social concerns while appealing to a large array of audiences, including, but not limited to, history fans, fans of period pieces, and fans of horror and thriller films, so this would definitely be a film that I recommend.